All right, let's get started.
Okay, so I was saying that gratitude is something that has always been undervalued. But in my opinion, the truth is gratitude is not only the result of success, it's the seed of success. Because the moment you start being sincerely grateful even for the smallest things, your health, the roof above your head, a friend's message, or let's say the ability to breathe freely, the ability of moving, being alive, while others might be at the hospital. So some things shift inside you, you know, and I think that from that moment your mind becomes receptive to new possibilities. Your heart becomes lighter. You are like a free. You move from complaint to creativity. Because from my perspective, gratitude is the opposite of complaining. Because how could you complain if you are grateful of something? You won't. So it's the opposite. And when you start, the moment you start being grateful and you do it intentionally, you move from complaint to creativity. And when you vibrate at that level, you attract more reasons to be grateful. You attract more of what you are grateful of because life is gonna mirror your mindset. And gratitude is, in my opinion, another way of focusing and shifting your mindset to something that is positive, something that matters, something that makes you feel um, joyful, feel accomplished, even if it's a little thing. Gratitude is not denial, like everything is perfect. No, it's perspective. It doesn't mean ignoring pain. Not at all. You may be in the midst of a trouble, but still being grateful for that, for the opportunity. I remember we studied a chapter of Think and Grow Rich a few months ago, where we said that opportunity sometimes will disguise into something you could not even imagine, into failure, for instance. And it's when things are going bad within this situation that your life opportunity, your life changing opportunity may appear. So, gratitude doesn't mean there is no pain, there is no challenge. It means refusing to let pain blind you to the blessings that are still present but you are not seen yet because of those barriers, because of those challenges, but they are just there. And sometimes they are closer than we might think. And then I'm referring again to the chapter we studied where we talk about 3 feet to God. So I think that everything is connected, and the more successful, peaceful, and fulfilled people all share that habit. I'm not the one saying that. Napoleon Hill studied over 500 successful people, and he talked about that. They practice gratitude daily. They take time, whether it's each morning or evening, to say thank you for what they have. Thank you for what I have, for who I am becoming through this journey, and for what's yet to come. Thank you for the challenges. Thank you for the air I could breathe. Thank you for the opportunities. Thank you for this interview. Thank you for this business. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my kids. Thank you for my spouse. That is what it is. And it's a form of prayer. I will say, I want to say that this is one of the most powerful forms of prayer, because gratitude turns ordinary days into celebrations, routine work into service. It turns simple moments that you share with family, with friends, into miracles. Because when the person is not present anymore, this is when you realize the chance you had being surrounded by those people, by your loved one. So it's important. It's, for me, it's more than a simple word. It's a lifestyle. So I think it's a good attitude, being grateful. It opens your perspective. It opens your universe, the universe of possibilities for you. It sharpens your brain, your mind, to attract more of positive things, more reason for you to be grateful day after day, month after month, year after year. So that is what I think about being grateful. Thank you. I'm going to stop there.
Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Sir Dr. Meda. You put it very well. And I want to emphasize a little bit because you know what? I was wondering what we're going to talk about this evening, really. Uh, Despite the fact that we have plenty of subject films to talk about, we usually ask for the universe guidance. We ask for the universe guidance so that it's prioritize the subjects we're gonna talk about, right? So we do not pick up subject or topic or film like that, okay, by random. We put it in the perfect order of the universe. So I was really thinking about what we're going to talk about this evening, and the idea of talking about leadership flashed into my mind. But before getting into this webinar, I still was wondering if it is the best time to talk about leadership. But then you just, God works in miraculous ways. I'm gonna tell you, and this is the perfect topic we want to talk about before the rest of the participants join us, right? Because it is important that when we want to talk about leadership, we I mean we spread it to the most to the largest audience, right? And the idea of gratitude came in. It just came in like that through Dr. Meda. And I want to bless the universe. And uh, you know what? Gratitude, there are two words that can change our lives. Two words. They are yet simple but very powerful. Thank you. Those two words can change your whole life, your entire life. And I'm gonna go deeper. You know, gratitude is a spiritual technique that Jesus used to multiply, whether it is fish, bread, etc. If you get into the Bible, right, any miracle that Jesus performed, before he performed it, who would have said, "Thank you, Father." Like Jesus never questioned how things are going to manifest, how the miracle is going to perform, or to, yes, he never questioned about the how. He always say thank you. Can you imagine that in the gospel where he multiplied, okay, birds to more than, I think, 5,000 men and women. Can you imagine that? From just, I think, five birds and two fishes, if I'm not wrong.
This is correct.
Yes. I mean, can you imagine that? So it's not just a mere example. It's not just it's not just, you know, it's not just a simple practice. It is a spiritual practice which connects us to abundance, to the source, to the infinite, the substance, the infinite substance, which makes everything available.
Mhm.
And you're gonna put it into test. You're gonna test it. Test gratitude. And let me tell you, gratitude is not just about saying thank you, thank you. No, it is about feeling. Feeling. You gotta feel it. Seriously, that's why the first activity I do when I wake up and my feet touch the ground, it is giving thanks to God, to the universe. This is the number one activity I want to do before anything else. It is so, I mean, I even embedded in my body. It is part of my habit. I can't, I can't live without doing gratitude. No, it is not possible because I live by it. So this is the principle. It is a spiritual practice. When you say thank you to God, thank you to the universe, no matter what it is, it will multiply because it is a multiplication principle. Jesus used it to give us a perfect example. This is the perfect illustration in the gospel, in the Bible, right? Somebody said, gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty. So whenever you are complaining, you are attracting poverty into your life. So if I look, I right now I am forming the habit to never go after things that I desire. I want to manifest. Never ever. I would just sit down and say thank you, God, thank you, universe, thank you. But I feel it sincerely, and once you really do that, you dedicate your whole being to that, and you really practice it with your whole being, and you are sincere, my gosh, things are going to rearrange. Okay, the whole universe will conspire for your favor, in your favor, right? It will do that. Imagine you grant your kid or child with a gift, and he reply to you by saying thank you, thank you. How do you feel? You feel so satisfied that you want to give more. It's the same thing. I remember my mother when whenever I I call my mother uh, and and offer her a gift, she will call me, thank you, thank you. You know, when she says thank you, when she's stressed on saying thank you, I feel compelled to give more. This is very natural. This is natural. So the only way to compel the universe to give you more is saying thank you. This is a powerful principle. Powerful, very powerful. And it will never fail at you. Never ever. Never. Since I start practicing gratitude, it's never failed at me. Never. It's never failed me. It's always working. It's work out for me perfectly. So how to be grateful? How to be grateful? In the midst of adversities, difficulties, challenges, how to be grateful. And you know, most of the time we want to be grateful when we manifest something that we call it is big, so big. Money, you know, cars, houses, etc., etc. But this is not gratitude at all. Gratitude stems from the simple fact of being alive. This is the number one. So you're not going to express your gratitude because you earn big money or because you manifest something big. No, this is not gratitude. You become grateful. You become grateful just by the simple fact that you are alive. This is such a gift, unprecedented gift. Can you imagine? And Dr. Meda mentioned, he mentioned deeply that, can you imagine the number of people who are, who are dying or in hospital, etc., etc.? But you are preserved. What a special grace. With all going on in the world, you are kept safe, protected, privileged, and you are still alive. Nothing is 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 more, you know, powerful than being alive. Life worth our life is worth everything, right? Nothing. So this is the grassroots. This is the starting point, because you have to be alive before going after success, before let's say accomplishing your duties, before performing your daily tasks. This is the number one. Second, when you see the light, the sunshine, because God gives you the sun to illuminate you, the air that you breathe in for free. I remember the last time somebody gave a testimony. He said, "Oh my gosh, we are not aware of how privileged we are when we are in perfect health, and we are just breathing the air like we wish, without counting, I mean, without worrying about how it's worth, because he was seriously uh, ill, right? And at the point that he paid for oxygen, can you imagine that? I can't tell you how much is it for him. But here we are breathing freely the air without, I mean, caring about if we're going to finish the stock. We do not care about that. Okay, we see the sunshine. Okay, the moon, etc., the whole planet, the earth, all those, the water, the powerful water, perfect water. We're not paying for water. No, we pay for the service, okay, that the institution uh, uh, which is governing, I mean, yes, the distribution of water. But you can't pay for water. Water is a gift from God. It is the life itself expressed. But we having water in abundance. Imagine a world without water, right? Imagine a world without the sun. I mean, the sunshine. Imagine a world without the moon. Imagine a world without food, the food we're consuming. Imagine that. I mean, we're not really aware of the gift of God, and we so disoriented. We are so focused on that's what it said in the Bible. If God can feed the birds in the sky, we don't work. What about you, a human being? I mean, the God's creation. So our worries, it is they are just expressing. Our worries are creating the lack. Yes, due to the fact that we constantly worrying about what is going to happen, how are we going to feed ourselves, what clothes are we going to wear, etc., etc. The I mean, the small needs, those are the small needs. Of course, they're important, but actually, compared to life itself, the oxygen, the air, the water, the sun, etc., they are nothing compared to those pillars of life. But we've been granted all those pillars of life. But it is not sufficient for us to believe fully in God, to believe that we already, I mean, feed. We already got whatever it is that we ask for. And we are always constantly stressed. We stress over and over, and we're wondering how things are going to happen. How? Then those worries express themselves in our reality, which creates the lack. The lack. If you elevate and increase your awareness about the gift of life, you will never wonder how you're going to feed yourself. Never, ever. It's not just possible. And you know what? Hmm. One day I was wondering, Because people used to say there is no money, you need to struggle. Yes, it is, you need to work, okay? I do not, I, you need to work. It is true that we need to work, but I do not believe in lack anymore. No, I do not believe. And you know what? I was really thinking about it, reflecting on the fact that people constantly say that there is lack of money. And I was just thinking about that deeply. It was midnight. Eh? I couldn't sleep. And I took that time to reflect back on that issue. This is a puzzle for me. And a great idea came into my mind. And it, I was just inspired to say that we need to change our perception, okay, about money. You never question if you will lack the air you are breathing. You never ever. I mean, we all breathing the air. We just breathe. But we never question ourselves if the stock of the air will finish. We even think about. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care about water if water will be finished. How come that we never question about, okay, the exhaustion of air, water, but we are constantly, permanently wondering about money. Yes. Is money powerful than the air? Is money powerful than water? I don't think so. Because we human beings create money. But I never I've never heard that a human being creates air or water. Never ever. Unless I'm wrong. Right? So it is all about, you know what? It is all about awareness. It's all about perception. It's all about lack versus abundance. It is about perception. You just shift, okay, the direction of your mind. Okay, you turn on abundance and you will live in abundance. Okay, but if you do not do that and you operate on the mindset of scarcity, lack, you're gonna express it in your life. There is no question about it. So those pillars of life that we receive as gift from the Creator, from God, allow me to build a robust faith of abundance in the universe. I never ever question how things are going, especially about money, and especially because I am really studying money these days. I'm gonna tell you the truth, really. Because I've come to realize that even though when you have money, you still think about, you still wonder. I, I know you can relate to that. Even though you have money in abundance, you are still thinking about, you are still wondering if this money finish, if this. So, and I ask myself, why is it that we always wondering about that? Because it is our perception. And Dr. Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes. When you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes, guys. It is so beautiful. I use this quotation in many, many situations. Many situations. When people get complex situation, I just use it to solve it. So if I change my perception about something, the face changes immediately. So I consider money as the air I'm breathing. which will never finish, never ever. It is impossible, right? It is unlimited abundance. So I just consider like that. If I have a need to be covered, yes, for somehow the universe will perform a miracle and it will happen. It will be covered. I am just building this faith, this this foundation. Yes, and I know it won't happen overnight, right? It takes time to build such a great foundation in terms of faith. I'm still working on it. I'm not I'm not really good at it, but I'm still working because I ask myself the right answer, the right questions. Then I am getting the right answers. Why is it that if somebody give you even uh 20, 50 millions today, your mind, you will be thinking about, you will be wondering about the money. You will be asking yourself, what if this money finish? Why is it that? So it's not just about the amount of money you hold in your hands, but it goes beyond that, right? It's deep down. It's deep down. It's deep down. Your 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 faith, okay, is deep down. It goes to your faith, the foundation of your faith, your awareness. And remember, Neville Goddard said that awareness is is what you think, what you believe, and what you accept as true. Three-dimension awareness. So if you are aware of something, is it means that you believe in the things, you think about it, and you accept it as true. Awareness is about believing, thinking, and accepting. So how do you conceive money in your mindset? How do you conceive it? Because your whole life will depend on it. It will depend on it. And expressing gratitude, when you understand this truth, it's become easier for you to express gratitude. Because gratitude is the key. Is the key. Is the key of abundance. To unlock abundance. If you want to unlock abundance, it will happen throughout gratitude. Without practicing gratitude, I'm not guarantee you, you're not gonna experience abundance. It is impossible because it is a spiritual practice used by Jesus himself to demonstrate that if any one of us practice it, steady practice, okay, not just today, not just for once and you forget about it, but with consistency. And Dr. Meda talked about it, consistency. If you practice it regularly, because it is energy. Gratitude actually is an energy. It will dissolve all your problems. It will dissolve them progressively. It will dissolve them. And I use it. I'm gonna show you something. This is a practice, and I think you deserve having the book called The Magic from oh my gosh, Rhonda Byrne is such a creative genius. I think she's she's a godsend to the universe, believe me. So she wrote a perfect book. It's called The Magic. When she went through 38 days of yes, 38, no, not 30, 28 projects of magic. For instance, I don't know, I'm not sure that you're gonna read it, but this is for health, gratitude for health. The gift of health is keeping me alive. Every morning when I get up, I have to read that and become grateful about that. Not just mere reading, but I want to reflect on it deeply and get really aware of the fact of the gift of health. You do that, you're gonna start noticing that all your scars, okay, all your health issues will disappear one by one. They will disappear because it because the energy of gratitude will dissolve them. Remember that we are operating on the scale of energy. Okay, so complain, eh, negativity, etc. This is a kind of negative energy, but gratitude also is. So there are two kind of energy in this universe: positive and negative. But the positive is far above the negative. So if you are stick to the positive energy, it will dissolve the negative. Absolutely, it will dissolve it. But you're gonna be, and I think Dr. Meda, for in the upcoming month, we're gonna talk about the inner conversation. Because sometimes you say thank you, okay, like you fake to be grateful. But deep down in your side, okay, deep down inside of you, your inner conversation, okay, are contradicting your gratitude practice. Can you imagine that? It's so powerful. So there are two voices within us, okay? And inner conversation, you know, how can I define it? Inner conversation. I found a beautiful definition of inner conversation in the book. Yes, the inner conversation in the book wrote by um, reading by Neville Goddard, right? He said, "See inner conversation." And I'm gonna read it for you, please. Just a minute. It is so powerful, and I can relate to that. I can relate to that because for many times, okay, I was assuming something, okay, I was assuming something vividly, but deep down inside of me, the inner conversation are contradicting my purpose. Okay, he said, by inner speech is meet those mental conversation which you carry on with yourself. So powerful. By inner speech is meet those mental conversation which you carry on with yourself. By inner speech, so inner conversation, okay, is meet those mental conversation which you carry on with yourself. And you might come across people in the street. They are just alone, but they are speaking. Can you imagine that? The inner conversation is so developed in them. They are just alone, but they are speaking like they are speaking to somebody, someone. You see? So I truly think that we need to pay attention to that and get rid of this habit. It is part of our paradigm for sure, but we wanna rewire the paradigm and install a brand new paradigm which serves us. Okay, so that's what I wanna contribute to, and really appreciate powerful uh your powerful let's say development of gratitude, but also your analysis regarding how people practice it. It is a must. Gratitude, the practice of gratitude, it is a must. It is not, let's say, it is not something that you you're gonna choose. It is mandatory. You have to practice gratitude. You cannot afford, okay, to miss out the opportunity to miss out on the opportunity to practice gratitude. It's not possible. Otherwise, you will be struggling, going nowhere, right? So I'm gonna pause there, Dr. Meda. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, Jerome. I um I couldn't say better. I truly align with everything you shared about gratitude. You, I would say you said it all. You touched some very important and critical aspects. You talk about the worrying, you talk about perception, you talk about so many things. You know, there are some of those simple concepts that which are, in my opinion, always underrated by most people, and they are not to be blamed. Why? Because they do not understand the true meaning, or they don't have the right keys
Yes.
to read the message, and or even to understand, because most of the concepts in personal development are, I want to say that the first in depth, and for that you need some keys, because when you say gratitude, and you said it very well, gratitude is not just saying thank you. It's a way of saying thank you, but it's not just a word like a thank you. No. And you said that there are some people, I mean, it's even more. It's not just say, okay, well, I'm thankful for this or for that, but it's a feeling. You've got to feel it. You got to feel what you are grateful for. Otherwise, it would have been a simple, polite, social ritual, which is not the case. And sometimes, I mean, it happens to you also. People will tell you this, but I could not see any result. And this lies in the fact that the understanding of the subject in question is not deep. So you said something like gratitude is more the lens through which we see the world, is how we choose to interpret what happens to us, not I mean, it's so profound. And I remember that Jim Rohn said something. He said that it's important to learn to be thankful for what you already have. why you pursue all that you want. And he used to say it different ways. For instance, he will say, okay, when you achieve something meaningful, celebrate. Because celebrating something that is important and meaningful to you is also a sign of gratitude. It's not, like celebrating that way doesn't mean simply inviting people, friends, dancing, drinking. No, it's not simply what it means. It's even beyond that. And when you live with gratitude, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what is this situation teaching me? And that simple shift turns pain, challenges, adversity into power. Now, regarding worrying, I want to say that worrying is the thief of gratitude. It is one of the enemy means of gratitude. Worry is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it takes you nowhere, because there are two situations. Are you able to change? Are you able to change? Are you able to change whatever it is that is challenging for you, the situation, the issue? If the answer is yes, then there is no need to worry. But if the answer is no, there is no need to worry. So it's something that is not so useful. Now, there is something else that I am not sure if everyone understood very well. You talk about not focusing on lack. And we often talk about that. And Bob Porter often said that you don't get rich by doing certain things, but you get rich by doing things in a certain way, the way of abundance. And you said that we don't think about whether tomorrow there will be enough air for us to breathe. We do not. And for money, if we could simply realize that there are people who will spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe just to sleep one night in a luxurious hotel, you realize that actually money is not something that is rare, that is not available, that is in short supply. There is abundance of it. And most people don't realize that they are printing machine. They are actually, money is basically printed. So how how could we think that money is in short supply? But to be able to make the money you want, you need to follow certain steps, starting by changing your mindset. So the lack that some people feel when it comes to money or any finance related situation is just in their head. It's just mental. You can have a full bank account and still live in scarcity if you keep focusing on what is missing in your life.
Yes, I love that. Thank you, doctor.
And there are a lot of people who have big bank accounts, but they are still not happy because they are chasing the next uh, thing, material thing or thing they do not have yet. And con- contrarily, you can have little materially yet live richly if your heart is full of gratitude. Abundance is not what you own, it's what you acknowledge. Gratitude expands your awareness of how much you already have. And that awareness becomes a magnet for more. And you said it very well. So the practical key is simply to shift your focus from what's absent to what's present. Because anyway, what's absent, you don't have it yet. But what is present, you already have it. You've got to shift from what's not working to what is already beautiful in your life. And there is always something beautiful, no matter how small it is. Because energy flows where attention goes. So if your attention is on lack, energy will flow to lack and you have even less.
Absolutely.
But if your attention, your focus is on abundance, then you attract more of that.
Yes.
So I think that there is also a caveat
Mm-hmm.
because there might be a confusion between gratitude and entitlement. Entitlement is, well, you say, I deserve more. But gratitude says, I already have more than enough to begin. You see the difference between the two? So the first one could lead, could lead to frustration. You have a job, right? Maybe you are not satisfied and you complain or you are very mad, you are sad, you are unhappy because you say, I deserve more, I deserve better. Just start by acknowledging what you already have. It's already a good start. And start practicing the things we talk about here, setting big goals, practicing gratitude, visualize what you want. You talk about inner conversations, and this would be, in my opinion, a topic, a series of topics. And a lot of different exercises that you could do to manifest. So I think that we could stop here and
Yes.
open the debate. But before that, I really would like to thank Muriel, because I realized that she was commuting, yet she decided to join the conversation.
Yes.
And this is something that simply illustrates and demonstrates the level of commitment. And that is something we often say. Too many people quit earlier. And every time people want to find excuses. Oh, I was driving. I was not home. I was, and remember that discipline and consistency are a second habit. And when you manage to make them your second habit, you don't force anymore. It becomes easier to follow through. This is something, that level of commitment is something personally I really want to acknowledge and appreciate publicly. This is, it's great. It's also encouraged. It shows that what we are doing here is important, right? So thank you so much, Dr. Muriel. Now,
So yes, Dr.
You're welcome.
Yes, Dr. Miller, I want to share a couple of things. Uh, I want to add a couple of things about gratitude before we move on to the Q&A session. And thank you very much. You know what? I really appreciate your noteworthy contribution because it was so inspiring. And while I was listening to you, I've got two, let's say, uh, two concepts. Should I say concept or uh, two? Yes, I may say concept, but it is understanding, right? Two different, not, but 2 points. 2 points that I wanna raise. You know, in this book called The Power of Awareness, never said that thought is the coin of heaven. Money is its earthly symbol. I'm gonna put in the chat. Thought is the coin of heaven. Money is its earthly symbol. So when you were talking about abundance, it is so true, but so misunderstood. Abundance starts from the thoughts. Like we say it so many times that your mind is like a garden, it's your garden when you plant the seed. So you gotta take care. I mean, you gotta be careful of the kind of seed you are planting. I mean, the kind of thoughts. So the when we talk about money, it is money actually it is thought, right? Because it is an information. It is an information. So fourth is the coin of heaven. So imagine the puzzle which is happening constantly in our mind. When we receive a certain amount of money, but we're still wondering about the Father as we finish. And we are constantly, right, in we constantly stressing over and over about the lack of money. And later it happens. It happened. So this means that if we do not develop, okay, if we do not grow in our mind a robust pool of thoughts constantly about money, about the abundance of money by shifting our perception, like we said previously, and look at money as if it was, or as if it is the air, or as if it was the air or water. Like we never think about the fact that water will finish one day. It's not possible. We never think about the lack of air we breathe in. Because in our consciousness, in our awareness, deep down inside of what we never think about those things. But how come that when it comes to money, we constantly get stressed over and over about the lack of it? It is because we do not develop the right awareness. We do not shift our belief about it, the kind of thoughts and the perception. Okay? When I was reading this book, I said, oh my gosh, how can I make this accessible to everyone in our community? Because it really hits me. Food is the coin of heaven. Money is its earthly symbol. So what you are receiving is the representation of your thought. The amount of money you receiving, possess in your hand is just the perfect representation of your thought, the kind of thought you're developing. So it's like photocopy of your thought. The amount of money you receive is reflecting the perfect thought you're holding in the screen of your mind. I found it very interesting, uh, profoundly insightful that I couldn't allow myself uh, to avoid sharing with you. Every moment must be invested, and our inner talking reveals whether we are spending or investing. So we're gonna match the the inner conversation with the kind of thought we holding, we developing in the screen of our mind. That's what abundance, we start building abundance. This is the starting point. That's where we start building abundance. We never build abundance from having from just, let's say, uh, from just being happy about the amount of money. No, it starts from the fall first. Okay, this is the shift we want to operate before it's manifest in our life. And gratitude takes a great part of it. It takes a big part of this game, this puzzle, which tends to hold many people back. So that's the contribution I want to make, Dr. Meda, over to you, so that we start the Q&A session. Quick
Yes,
Q&A
thank
session.
you.
But before that,
Thank you so much.
if you allow me, before that, I want to recognize the presence within us of Professor Wensabi. Welcome, Prof. Thank you for your presence. We appreciate it. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome. Good
so much.
evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Meda. Good evening, all of the participants. It's a great pleasure to join tonight. I joined from Finland, where I am since 2 days.
Wow.
I noticed that we have a slight time difference between our country and this place. I was a little confused about the the time difference. I thought it was 2 hours, but finally it was 3 hours because you made your schedule on UTC. So my sincere apologize for joining a little late, but I'm here. I'm happy to be with you. I catch up the last part of the communication of Dr. Mida, and I really appreciate it. So nice to be with you.
Thank you, Prof. We're so
Welcome.
privileged to have you with
You're
us. Thank you.
you're welcome.
And wish you a pleasant stay over there, right?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor, for honoring us being present tonight in the conversation. It means a lot to
It's a
us
great pleasure.
so much. So, John, you know, what you said is so important because most people chase money. And the problem with chasing is that what you chase actually earns. Because when you are chasing, you are behind something that is earning.
Yes.
That is the
Perfect
problem,
leading.
you know.
I agree.
So you you don't. I think when you look at the uh, our generation, let's say our generation. I don't want to say young people, but our generation today in most countries, that you realize that people don't even want to serve. They don't want to help. I mean, for free. So whatever it is that you ask, I'm sure that out of 10 people of our generation, 5 will simply decline if there is no immediate transaction, I mean, commercial transaction, financial transaction, a reward, an income, or whatever it is that they could quickly get out of it. Even if what you ask them or what you are doing with them is something that is gonna have long-term and huge impact on their career, for instance, long-term collaboration, and and that is also one of the reasons why collaborating becomes it's not difficult actually, but it's somehow very slow and hard to find the right and the perfect business partner or people you can collaborate with. Because most of the time, when it comes to money or interest, then people will always prefer wanting to earn right now instead of planting a seed that could be harvested several times and give thousands or millions of fruits later on. Now, I really want to take advantage of our audience, not only here, but on YouTube, to say this. Money follows value. Now, a critical thing is most people, not most people, but a lot of people do not even have a clear value proposition. And it makes things harder for them. And that is one of the reasons why they chase money every time. But money moves where it is respected, multiplied, and used to solve problems. So this is something critical. There is a young designer I know who started creating CV templates for job seekers online. Actually, she's a lady. So she charged the equivalent of $5. Yes, $5 at first. Now, she listened to feedback, improved her designs, and started offering coaching. And I can guarantee you that in less than 6 months, she turned that $5 idea into something that is huge and generated over $1,000 per month. So what changed? Not the economy, but it's only her awareness of value, the value she could provide. She did not chase money, but she found ways to do something that anyone could do, but do it differently, uniquely. And I think that is one of the important secrets to money, in addition to the mindset aspect of it, because action is also important. We are not preaching that you just have to sleep all day long and do meditation, visualization, and all. We are not saying that.
Never, ever.
Never, ever. And that is where some people, they get confused. So action is important. Now, what we are saying is action without the right mindset will not give necessarily the good result. That is what we are saying. That is our message. And it's for me, it's important that we get it clear for people not to forget to take action. So now that we said that, I'm really happy to open the Q&A part of our conversation tonight. We still have 40 minutes left, which in my opinion will be more than enough. So we welcome any comment, questions, and anything that you deem important in relation with the topic that you really want to share with the audience. So I would like to ask, I think we're gonna start with Edward. Edward, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm Ron.
Okay. So is there anything you would like to contribute to this discussion?
Thank you for giving me the floor, and also thank you for developing this topic, this interesting topic. thank you so much. I've learned much this evening, and I am a beginner in terms of applying the secrets, let's say, which many of authors develop in their books. Uh,
What is going on?
We can't hear you anymore.
There was a back sound that he's trying
Okay.
to stop, or maybe.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So maybe in the meantime, we could circulate the talk. So, Laiji, are you there? Laiji,
Yes, I'm here.
thank you for being here. So, would you like to contribute? Do you have questions, comments, or even any personal story, something that you want to share about the gratitude and everything we discussed tonight?
Yes. First of all, thank you for the floor. And I wasn't there at the beginning, so I missed a lot. But I don't know if I still in the subjects, but I'd like to just comment. It was really inspiring, and I agreed with what you said, because I truly believe that our generation should keep in mind that working hard and looking for money is really good. But beside that, we have also to have some values and a way to behave. I think nowadays the biggest problem in the world is about chasing money. Certainly, looking for money is really good, but we forgot that is not enough. We need also we need to, how to say that, fulfillment. I don't know how to explain that in English, but we need to feel comfortable and to have peace, mind peace, or peace mind, something like that. And I think that can come just um, when we behave in the right way, and we know that money is a result of things that we have been doing for a long time. That's what I had to say, and I don't know that it was the subject, but it is really what I was thinking about while listening your webinar.
Thank you so much for your contribution. We truly appreciate that. Thank you. Indeed, uh, success could take some time, and it's important to plan. It's not a random event. Success doesn't happen by chance. Just like making money doesn't happen by chance. So I fully agree with your comment. Thank you. So now let's move to Muriel. Dr. Muriel?
Yes, good evening, Dr. Mita. Prof. Mwensavi, good evening. Good evening, Coach Jerome, Leji, and Edward. I'm so happy to be in this meeting this evening. Long time. I'm so happy to join again. And I would like, first of all, to thank you a lot. In French, we said la répétition est pédagogique. Like, you know something and hear about it again and have a lesson on it again, help you to remember that you have to be in this way. And this help you also to be in right way. And I want to support you. All that you say in this meeting resonates with me. And I have my notebook and write a lot about it. Thank you so much. And for example, you said that in any situation we have to don't say why this situation come, and instead of we have to say what can we learn from this situation. And so true. It's so true. And be grateful is really, 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 really like a gift. Even in the relation of our child, our colleague, sometimes our colleague or our child is like grateful for a little thing that you do for them, or a little gift that you give for them. You are like encouraged to do more and to do more. And it is the same thing in our modern nature. Be grateful also attracts more in your life and more success in your life. And this helped me to remember in the Bible about Solomon. Solomon who asked to God wisdom. Wisdom, just wisdom. And the God said that because you don't ask me money, building, anything, just wisdom, I will give you not only wisdom, but also money. And in the Bible, we can read that Solomon is like a rich man, a rich man, and people come from a lot of part of the world to see the wisdom of Solomon, the riches of Solomon. And this can help us to understand that in our life, the first is not money, is not what we have, is like Lady said, like a fulfillment, like in grateful of God, of life, or anything that we have. We have a lot, but we don't see these parts that we have. We are always in the way that I want to have that, I want to have this, and I don't have it. And this like give us in back. So is situation in this, because hear about it again, hear about it, help us to integrate it in our life and help us to in like some time to think that we have to come back and see what is important, what is the main thing that we have to see. So thank you so much. I want to stop there.
Thank you so much, Muriel, for your contribution. You talk about repetition, and I think that if there is a single force that quietly shapes our destiny, it's repetition. But repetition is not a mindless routine. It's an intentional repetition of the right ideas until they sink from the surface into our subconscious mind. and become who we really are. And that Napoleon Hill called this autosuggestion, which is the practice of feeding our mind the thoughts we want it to obey. Repetition is how those thoughts get accepted and acted on. And I want to illustrate it just like a fertile soil. If you don't plant on purpose, be sure that the weed will go there by default. Weed goes everywhere. And repetition is planting on purpose. The right ideas repeated. So even though you are very familiar of all those topics we develop, I think that from time to time it's always helpful repeating what we always know. This is a way of magnetizing our dominant thoughts to attract matching ideas, matching circumstances, matching people, matching collaboration, and abundance, of course. So this is key. Thank you so much for your worthy contribution. Thank you. So now let's move with to Prof. Our Professor Christine. I would like to invite you to share some of your wisdom.
Wow.
Because we know your experience and believe that whatever you would like to share with us tonight.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I thank you very much for bringing up this topic for discussion tonight. I also use this opportunity to thank Mr. Agoyon for inviting me every time. So from what I just heard from your communication, I could notice that we are talking about gratitude and also the behavior of our society, especially talking about young men today, young people. And I could notice that the whole world is now being educated with regard to, let's say, commercial aspects or financial aspects, because when you take a whole year now, from January to December, and you see every month is almost characterized by something that make young people, particularly young people, chasing money in order to be able to appear like someone who is positively, let's say, who has succeeded his life. In January, you see everybody running after how can I say, how to appear, how to celebrate New Year like someone who has already succeeded. In February, you will hear talking about, how do you call it, Valentine, something like that. And they will need money, financial appearance also. In March, in April, in June, until December. And a part of that one, you can notice also that every new generation is always rushing on platonic success, success, And that make them be chasing on money every time. So in the past, what our parents or our, yes, let's say our parents, what they used to educate us was that they always put in your mind that you, there's a says that goes that slow and steady win the race. They will repeat it to you along the day and along the month, along the year, that all that is shining is not gold. You have to pay attention, you have to work hard in your life, you have not to be rushing after everything shining on your face, on your eyes. So, but nowadays, the education is not promoting, it's not promoting the values again. That's what I think. Because what is happening, what we are noticing now is not only from, it's not the fault, let's say it's not the fault of only the new generation, but it's also partially due to the educators. I mean parents, I mean teachers at school and everybody. We are all concerned by this kind of change, which is a negative change that we can notice today in our society. So I think what have to be done is to consider again all these values at school, from primary, even nursery, through primary until high level, high school. I mean university and so on. We have to teach those values by doing it by ourselves. I'm not teaching you anything new, talking to you that even in our universities today, you can find some colleagues and some lecturers who are not really, they don't give a good example. They are not models to students. So when things come to be like that, we can, I don't know, we can only consider what is happening wrong being the fault of only our students or the young people in the society. So, since you said that we are now addressing Q&A section, that's just a short comment that I want to do, and from there, I would like to ask all of the participants of this webinar, what do we think that could be done today to change this situation? What could we do? Because as I said, I think the education that we are, it's the root, the main root of the education that is already impacted by this wrong, let's say, transmission of things fail from bottom up until upstairs. So what do we think that we could do as leaders, as teachers, as educators? What do we think that we could do to change such a situation in our society? Because we all agree that it's crucial and things is moving on from how can I say bad aspect to the worst one in the world. What can we do? How can we change things? I think that that's the main question from this conversation that we could try to answer to. So since we are boarding Q&A section, I would like to ask that question to all of us. And if someone or or the speaker has an answer to that question, that will be our takeaway maybe this night, this evening. So that's my question, and thank you once again for bringing up such a topic and making us contribute to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your contribution, your important contribution. You stressed on the role of education, and you didn't define education at large, but you started from nursery till university, which means that education is a big part of the solution. So earlier we plant the seed, then we could expect that it produces good fruit on time and in abundance. So I would, since it's an open question, which I think this is a great question, I would give the opportunity to the audience first, the attendees, to share their reflection ideas on the question, and then we could maybe move to Jerome, and we I think this will be an excellent closing discussion for today's seminar. We already have a hot attendee who want to make a contribution. Laji, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. So I was listening to Professor Christine, and about her question, I think that she said a lot about that, but she forgot to say about social media, especially for young people. You know, nowadays, sometimes we have things, we have enough for us, but whenever we are on social media and scrolling on social media, we can see people who have succeeded more than us, and it's make us feel like we don't have enough. That creates a feeling of ungrateful, and that is one of the biggest problem, because sometimes parents are not the roots of all the education of their children. Sometimes they teach them the right thing, but after they go away for their initial education because of social media nowadays is really a big problem. And I think about the question of to bring a solution to that, I think it would be good if everyone can spread that kind of thoughts, to spread that kind of thoughts around him, because it's not just about educators and people who occupy a high level in the society, but it is something individual. If me as a child in a family, I decide to spread that ideology in my family, it will be a good start, because I'll be preaching that to maybe five people who can also spread that ideology to other five. It will be really good. That was my thoughts.
Thank you so much, Laiji, for your contribution. I appreciate it because you are part of also the target Professor talked about. And then you reveal an aspect of this equation that we tend sometimes to overlook, but which we've addressed in the past. Here, Jerome, I don't know if you remember, we talked about the fact that it is important to limit the influence, the external influence on oneself when we want to achieve certain goal. And there were even people saying that we are the resultant of the 5 people we are mostly surrounded with. So if you are surrounded with people with good intentions, you will probably, or you are more likely to move into the right direction. But if it's not, then you might move into a not so good direction. So this is now something that I would like also to emphasize before Coach Jerome talk is that actually the only one competitor of anyone is himself, not others. There are a lot of people out there showing off, but when you start scratching the surface, then you realize that it's not really what you see. So it's important also to deconstruct this tendency. There is no challenger than yourself. So, Professor.
No, I just wanted to add something that I really appreciate the comment of Laiji and the contribution she made. And I think from the question I asked, I really believe that the most important thing starts from home. Because before a person will reach or will reach another group outside, or even get in contact with all those social media and go to school or something else, everything begins from home. And you just said that when you sow a seed, what you sow will grow the way you sow it, I think. And I also think that when a seed is sown at home and seedling rooted very well from the house, even if it's get in contact with another environment outside, I'm sure that it won't, the tree that is growing could not be felled easily. And that means that every parent have to be committed to the education of his child before even considering what is going to be done at school, from primary school to university and so on, and in the society. Because we also know that the development, development of the words and word growing today based on the development of all those media, and what we can do to influence that development of media is really limited. So we have to work. We have to, not to work, but we have to find another way to change the mind of our children from home before they reach outside. I try to do something like that, but I'm not sure that I really got it. But the results, I found the result a little good. And sometimes I believe that if I put my son, who is right now a teenager growing, I put him in an environment, even if that environment is polluted, I believe more than 80% that he will not copy with blind eyes what is happening outside. So I really believe in such education from house before letting our children going to copy something outside. So thank you. That's just a short comment I need to make, to add before we continue with the discussion.
Thank you so much, Professor. And this is so critical. Then another question, which will be a follow-up question of yours, I would say follow-up question after your answer, is then what are practical steps to teach gratitude to our children so that during significant life challenges, they stick to being grateful? So, Prof, would you mind sharing with us some advice or some practical tips?
I think simply what I can say is that it may appear really simple, but at home, the first thing we need to teach our children is that when someone do something for you that is good, or give you something, you have to thank the person. You have to express your gratitude, and that one may appear simple, but very important. I noticed that at school, it's primary school, because I support and promote a school somewhere. And I noticed that at the end of the year, the students, yes, the best students were awarded some prizes, and then they give them some books, some copybook, pen, and everything that they need to start the new year, the new school year. And I noticed that they were not happy. Those children were not happy. And my younger brother came there, and he said, "Oh, that's very good. You did well. You were first, and so on. Now they rewarded you by giving you this set of book and copybook and so on." And I would like to add something to for as a how can I say, to recognize your effort. And then he put his hands in the pocket and bring out money, just 500 CFA, 500 CFA for some people, and 1,000 CFA to others. And they were happy, you cannot believe. Those people to whom they gave book and copybook, if you see their face, you notice that they were not happy. And just 500 or 1,000, you cannot imagine. They express a happiness as if 500 or 1,000 was bigger than what they provided them to recognize the effort. So I said that one is not good at all. If you see, is that means that from home, they got the habit that money, I can say money, yes, like cash is something that is celebrated in their mind more than values, more than material that could be useful for them to continue growing, to continue doing better at school and so on. So it's just an example that I can give you and show that it remains a lot to do to change the mind. The most thing is to change the mind of those of our children, of our younger brothers today, and let them know that everything is not cash, it's not money, cash like this. So I know that if you want to bring examples in this discussion, we can stay here up to tomorrow. Because if I open another section, like in the society, we are talking about school, young people, and so on. If you enter another section, like, I don't know if it's necessary to talk about it, but let's say political section, can you imagine what's happened? You can help someone, help him even to get a job, to have what to eat all his, the whole life. And one day, because of 5,000 or because of 2,000 CFA, that person will become, I don't know how to describe it. He will forget everything, no gratitude anymore about all what you did to him. It's as if that cash is bigger than even what you did, the effort you make to help him getting job, or maybe to save him from something very dangerous, or to help him if, I don't know. So when adult people are behaving like that, what education are we giving to young people in the society? So I think I don't want to say more, but examples are many, yes, from every sector, and we need to work. That's why I said that it remains a lot to do to change the mind of people in our society. And I used to say, each of us, we have to work on ourselves first, and our relatives, and that's the way we can change the world, we can change the society for better behavior for next generation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your worthy contribution. Now, as we are now approaching the end of the allocated time for our today's seminar, I would kindly like to invite you, Jerome, for your contribution, and then we could wrap up the webinar, the things we discussed, and the take home messages, and then we conclude. If you don't.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Mida, and thank you so much, dear Prof. Mwesavi. I truly appreciate your highly esteemed contribution. I mean, you said it all. Word even fail me to add something because everything is said, right? Like the solution to this puzzle, biggest problem in our generation, but in the history, right, is the Positive Mindset Institute that Dr. Meda and I are creating. And we contributing, we addressing the issue. We're already addressing the issue throughout our Zoom webinars, okay, success webinars, where we dive into how people should behave, right, to become the best, the best self, right, become the best version that they are meant to become. And the solution lies in 5 points. I want to mention it. 5 points. The first one is identity. So we need, and I love the conclusion of Prof. You know, for all his, I mean, during all her intervention, he finished by saying we need to change the mind. And it is so true. Because, yes, I agree that social media is contributing, but it's all about mind. It's all about our beautiful mindset, right? If you do not change the mindset, if you do not do the paradigm shift, nothing will change, nothing will happen. So 5 points. Identity, because identity is who we are. We need to connect to who we really are nowadays. Many people are drifting. They are going off track because they do not know who they are, who they really are. Second, the belief system. We're gonna shift our whole belief system. It is so important to shift the belief system. And the next one is paradigm shift. I was talking about the paradigm shift. Okay, paradigm shift. So we need to rewire the old paradigm and install a new one which serves us. Okay, so that we're not going, we're not going with the crowd. People are just going with the crowd and forgetting about their dreams, the beautiful dreams. This is a puzzle, right? And this is, social media is a pitfall. It is a trap. It is a trap for those who do not know who they are, who do not shift the paradigm. It is a trap. And next one is awareness. We need to, to develop, to deepen our awareness. It is because awareness is everything. If you are aware of who you are, where you are going to, you know, what to do. You do not get yourself controlled by your environment. Probably Professor knows much about that than me. And finally, the environment. The environment is critical. Dr. Mida was saying that you become the average of the 5 persons you get yourself surrounded by. It is a fact. It is a fact. So, and we covering our, let's say, institute is covering all those 5 aspects. And I love the fact that can you imagine the busy schedule of Prof, but he put everything aside and join us. That's what we need. We need people to be available to dedicate their time, themselves, to the most significant question, most significant quest, which is education, because children are going to replace us sooner or later. And so, what kind of legacy we are leaving to the next generation? So, the solution lies in our institute, and we open our hands, okay, to welcome you all, Prof. And please, I'm gonna ask you, right? If you if you can ask your students, okay, your neighbors, your friends, no matter who they are, they can join our webinar every Saturday. Okay, we come together to share insights, tips, to elevate who we are, to increase our awareness, to develop, to become our future self. Isn't it a good thing to do together? So that we change our country, we change our continent, and above all, the world. We can make the world a beautiful place to live in. So this is I mean, uh, the calling action that I want to invite us all to join so that we shift the destiny of our generation and beyond all our children, because it's all about our children. And I really rely on you. Thank you, Prof. Thank you for your interviews. Thank you for being with us. I truly appreciate. Thank you, everyone. And over to you, Dr. Meda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Jerome. Now, I think that the only thing I would like to say is just to summarize the main point we discussed today. So today's webinar focused on gratitude as a foundation for leadership and abundance and success. And we emphasized gratitude as a deep feeling and mindset. And we said that it connects to abundance and is able to dissolve negativity and transforms perception, especially about money, right? So we highlighted as well the importance of shifting from a scarcity to abundance mindset. We talk a little bit about inner conversations, which we will further develop in another webinar. And we talked, of course, about consistent practice of gratitude to manifest positive outcomes. So here are a few key points. The first one is that gratitude is a spiritual practice that connects individuals to abundance and the infinite source. And this is exemplified by biblical miracles and other examples. There are plenty of them. True gratitude involves sincere feeling. It's not just about words, and it can dissolve problems and negativity over time. Worrying creates lack, while focusing on abundance attract more positive energy and resources. So we better focus on abundance and positive things. We said also that the money is a symbol reflecting one's thoughts and the mindset. So the money you have today is the result of your current mindset. Shifting your perception about money from scarcity to abundance is crucial for financial well-being. Now, sometimes inner conversations can contradict gratitude practice. Awareness and alignment of thoughts are really essential for manifesting abundance. Now, to finish, there is one critical question. How could we together change that? And the answer is, of course, through the Positive Mindset Institute. Coach Jaron perfectly declined the solution into 5 steps. He talked about knowing what is our identity. The second point is the belief system. Third is paradigm shift. Fourth is awareness. And the 5 is our environment. And the very last question, how can leaders at different levels integrate gratitude practices into organizational culture for better outcome? Since the diagnosis is clear, we know where is the issue and we know what might be the solution. Now, how can we implement this integrated into organizational culture for better and long-lasting outcome? I would like to end there, wishing you all a pleasant weekend and a very productive and positive and an abundance week ahead. Be blessed.
Amen. I love it. Thank you, Doctor. God bless you.
Commitment. Thank you so much.
You are God sent. Appreciate
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And bye
for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night to everyone.
Thank you, Prof.
Good night. Thank you so much and amen.
Bye for now.